Welcome back everybody. As you can see, I am cracking on with the woodwork inside the van, and like you just saw, I've already cut 3 boards, and they're going to be the start of where the drawers bolt into. Obviously this is going to be a slightly shallower drawer, which the toilet will be sat in and whatever else you want to. And then that side is much longer, so that's going to be about 5 foot long. The drawer slides will be that long, and then that's like the kitchen, so the fridge and the stove will be on that. So I've cut so far I've cut them 6 foot long, because they will be flush with that. So at the moment they're probably sticking out a little bit further than I want to, and I'm going to have a bench seat along there, so that end will have to be cut down and forward for where the actual seat part goes. But I don't know how far into that area of the van I want the seat sticking out till yet. So that's why I've cut them 6 foot long, so then I can just cut them down a little bit. I picked these up this week, 3 boards of, what is it, 18mm ply, and I got 3 boards of 12mm ply. And bloody hell, dear. The 18mm was £20 each for a board, 8x4 board.
I have been bled dry by this venture.
And the reason why I'm going for 18mm by here is, you might think it's to strengthen the bed area up, but 12mm would have done enough for that. The main reason why I've gone for 18mm is for the drawer slides, because they're rated to, I think it's 225 kilos, although I'm not going to have 225 kilos in it, but obviously something is only as strong as its weakest point. The weakest point is what it's going to be screwed into in it, so that's the reason why I've gone for 18mm, so there's plenty of meat for the screw to go into. So the next step I have to do to get these to sit in properly is to drill the holes with a pocket hole jig, so that then they can screw into the floor. And then I have to figure out some kind of way of attaching the board at the top to the bed frame. So I've got my pocket hole jig set up now, marked out where I want to drill the holes in it, taking into account that there is no screws in the way on the van floor, because you don't want to be drilling a hole and then find out that the screw you're going to put in is on top of another screw, obviously. So yeah, let's get drilling there, man. So I just started cutting those pocket holes, and I've never had a pocket hole jig before, because obviously I've never really made anything out of wood before prior to building this van. So I bought a pocket hole jig off of Amazon, and I always check the reviews before I purchase something, and I think it was on 4 out of 5 stars or something. So I didn't go into the reviews, so I was at 4 out of 5 stars, that's good enough for me. Clicked on it, ordered it, and opened it up, came out of the box, looks fine to me. It was only about £13 or something, but I've just gone to use it, and I'm not getting actual proper pocket holes. It's only going in about halfway, So if I put a screw through that, some of the head of the screw would be poking outwards. So I thought, right, let's have a look at these reviews a minute. And I clicked on them, and just everyone was 1 star then. And so how is giving 4 out of 5 stars when the first, I think, 9 out of 10 reviews were 1 star, basically saying do not buy this product, it's a load of shit. And then someone actually said on there I had to cut the mount off of it, so that's what I've done now. So I just cut that off with a bandsaw, chuck that in the bin now, and when I mounted it with a G-clamp, I got a much better result on there now. So with the clamp on there, it was like down like that, so it wasn't penetrating in far enough.
That's disappointing.
I put it level with the bottom then, and then got a much better one. Right, we got better results this time. So with cutting the bottom of that jig off, I managed to get some tidy pocket hole holes, or whatever you call them. How long it's gonna last though, I do not know, because it's taken quite a bit of the metal away off this thing, but if it lasts for this job, then we're on to a win for £13. Some of you carpenters out there probably like, why is he using just a normal screwdriver for? Well, one, because I don't trust myself with a drill to screw them in, and the main reason is because, as I've said before, it's all gonna come back out again for painting. So I don't want to nip the screws up as tight as they can be, because I'm taking it all out, and it might cause them to be loose afterwards. So at least by using a normal screwdriver I can just be careful and only do them up so tight just for now, and then in the future when it's all painted and it goes back in, then I can do them up fully tight then. Okay, so I got all them, well, mocked up in place. Got the screws in the pocket holes. So now we gotta fix them from above. So I might just screw down through the bed frame into them. So to do that, I have to get my level and square and do them one by one, because I don't know whether you pick it up on the camera there, but that board's bowing a little bit, and that one. Position. That one ain't too bad. So I'll have to do them one by one, and then try and pull the bows in to straighten them. Now I'm just gonna drill the hole that's in the bed frame a little bit bigger so that the screw can pass through it. So that's all the holes on the top of the bed frame drilled, and they've all been screwed. So 9 in total. I've just used some old screws for now, just long enough to bite into the wood. When it all comes back out for painting, I'm going to buy some new screws, because all the heads are slightly worn on them, and I'll probably go a little bit longer so it bites nicely into the wood, and I might even countersink the tops a little bit so they sit a bit more flush. Yeah, pulled the bows out quite nicely. So I used a set square, or whatever you call it, to get the nice right angles there. Now that the 18mm is in there, that is stiffened it right up now. So it would have probably stiffened it right up just with the one in the middle, but obviously we need 3 to mount the drawers on. I think the next thing to do would be to box this section in. That's going to be the end of this drawer space. So I need a board that goes from there to there downwards. So I'll probably do that out of 12mm, and then that will provide the side to whatever unit I'm building by here, which I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet. I've got the measurements all marked out on a piece of board for that end piece now. I didn't bother filming me measuring it, because if I did that for every single piece, the video would be 10 hours long. So anyway, I've marked it all out, got my track set up now, and so I need to make a cut along here and a cut along there. Yeah, it's all fitting nice, that is now. Down there. So let's get it screwed in. All screwed in now, so it's 3 screws across the top, directly into the bed frame, 3 at the bottom with pocket holes, and I got 3 along the side of this board. So that ain't going nowhere at the moment. So I think what I'm going to do next is the unit, well, start the unit that goes across here, and I've kind of got my rough measurements on what it's going to be like, but the first thing I need to do is put like a backboard on it to contain the insulation. Renault and Vauxhall were nice enough to make the profile of this steel structure here totally not flat. So it comes out further here than it does down there, and then it dips in more than it does by here as well. So you got 2 centimeters difference from there to there. No, sorry, you got 2 centimeters difference from there to there, and from there to there is 3 centimeters difference. So what I think I'm gonna do is cut a piece of 9mm ply to contain it. I'll get it so it lines up with that and the bottom board. It isn't gonna line up with this bit or that bit by there, but I'll just trim it so that it goes underneath it, and then I can, I don't know, seal it up with tape or something, the remaining gap. So we'll get that cut out next. Just cut the backboard, but in order for it to fit properly, I need to just notch out a corner there and a corner here for it to not foul on these two areas that are sticking out. And then because I said there is, what is it, 2 centimeters difference from the depth of that to the depth of that one down there, I need to then put a little batten across here. So if there's 2 centimeters difference, that's 20 mil. If I mount a piece of 12 mil ply along there, and then this 9 mil ply, which is actually 8 mil for some reason, I don't know why can't they just call it 8 mil? So then a bit of 12 mil and a bit of 8 mil will then give me my 2 centimeters, and in theory it should then be totally vertical. We shall see. So I'm just gonna cut them 2 corners out and that bit of batten out on the bandsaw. So cut the batten, and I've drilled 3 holes in it, which should line up with 3 holes that are already on the van body. And I've used hex bolts that are countersunk. So then obviously I've countersunk the holes on the wood as well. Is there anyone else weird like me that you need all the same fixings when fitting something on? Well, for some reason I can't find I can't find my nuts. I can't find my box of 10 mil nuts for some reason. So I got 2 matching and 1 random one, which is gonna bother me. So when I find my nuts, I'll swap them over. But for today it will do. It will have to do anyway. Just gonna nip them up. And the reason why I've used countersunk fixings is because when this board goes on, which I've cut the corners out of, when it goes on, it ain't then gonna foul on the heads of any bolts. And there we go. We've just got it roughly the same height as that batten I've just put on, and then it's the width of the opening down below, but then it tucks behind the panel there and just comes up to that there. That's why I notched them out. So now I can mount it into the batten there, and I can mount it somehow down the bottom as well. In my haste there to get this on, I forgot a vital step, and remember I said that is 2 centimeters further in than the bottom there, and for some reason I counted the 12 mil batten plus that board, which is 8.5 or something mil, which would then give me the difference, but that is incorrect because then that board would then be on a slant. because I need a piece of the 12mm and a piece of the 9mm to then kick that board out enough so that it is perfectly level on the upright. And the 12mm batten is actually 11.5mm, and the 9mm batten is actually 8.5mm. Add them together, that gives you your 20mm or 2 centimeters, which then takes up the difference from the bottom to the top there.
What is he talking about?
So when I mount this board now, it should be level. That's on. Let's try this board. I've already drilled the holes for it. Need to get me a cordless screwdriver. I think that's the next tool to purchase. A moment of truth. Oh, I still ain't flipping. What's going on here? It's still out. Why is that? I don't get it. Maybe there's a bit of sealer behind it, kicking it out or something. Okay, well, I've got it all screwed on now, and with my 2 battens behind it, and I don't know why, but it isn't square. I got a difference of actually 5mm at the top, but the panel, the van panel behind it there isn't actually connected to anything. It yeah, it's just hanging there, so that is actually flimsy, so that bends around. There's no saying that my floor is actually level. Plus we got beads of sealer at the bottom there around the edge of the floor. The metalwork behind the panel at the bottom is multiple skins, and there's all like undulations in that. So I think that's the best we're gonna get it, to be honest. It just means when I make the uprights for this unit here, then I'm probably gonna have to cut the back of it at an angle so that it fits, which is a pain in the ass, but there we are. I don't know why I'm moaning for anyway, because the end piece of this unit is going up against that metalwork there, which is not straight, so I'm gonna have to cut it around that anyway. Obviously I want 2 cupboards, so I'm gonna have to have a middle board, which, like I said, I'm gonna have to cut it to that shape, which is obviously gonna be easier than cutting that one to that shape. So I think the next step is to cut this end board. So I've been getting on with making the end piece of the unit now, and at one point I thought I'd cocked it up as well, but it actually ended up working out okay. So have a look at this. So there's my end panel, and I think everyone with a Vivaro or Trafic knows that you can't put it any further forward that way. You can't have it button up against that. Well, 1, you can't because the floor goes inwards, and 2, you'll be covering the seatbelt, and 3, you won't be able to recline your seat back that far. So I've got it tied into the metalwork there, and I've cut some pocket holes at the top ready for a worktop, and I've got it tied into the bottom, and I've got it a notch cut out there. I don't know what you call it, so like the kick panel is underneath, so this overhangs, so then later on I can then have some LEDs running underneath there to give it a nice glow down here. That's the plan anyway. So now I gotta work out cutting the worktop along here. The reason why I'm doing the worktop next is to stop this from playing about by there. I can't really do anything else down here until I work out the depth of the bench, because then that'll determine how wide my cupboard doors are and drawers are, whatever I'm having in this space. Basically I got to decide how far the bench sheet is poking out to then decide where my cupboard doors are. The eagle-eyed of you, I don't know whether it's caught up in the camera, but I've done my first cock up as well, and that would be the first board I put in. I had to cut another one, and that was because I didn't account for where the height of my worktop. I just cut it level with the bed. Obviously my unit is the worktop is higher than the bed. So found that out when I cut this one, and then I plunked a scrap bit of wood across them, and then obviously it was dipping down, and I was like, shit. So I took the old one off and used it as a template, and just made it, I think it was 7 centimeters longer, that's all, and just drilled all the holes in the same place to mount it on with. So that's there now like that, and if I show you with a scrap piece of wood, that is kind of where my worktop is going to be. But what I need to do is cut it around these areas so that then that slides up to there all the way along, and cut it around that bit as well. I've just cut a scrap piece of wood to the shape of the what the worktop is going to be, and as you can see, to get the profile at the top there, I've done it out of cardboard and tape, because all these edges of the van, they're actually you know, coming down at a slope. So when I cut this piece out of wood, it'll have to be beveled to contour to the slope, if you get what I mean. So I've done that so I don't cut it out of a nice valuable piece of 12mm and cock it up on my first go. So now I can lay this on a piece of 12mm now, draw around it, but then I'll do it probably like 1 centimeter deeper on this edge and on the back edge there, just so it has a bit of an overhang. Can't do it on the bed side, because obviously it'd be fouling on the mattress otherwise. So I laid the template that I made onto a new board of 8x4 12mm, and I've cut it out now with the saw. So the next step is to use the jigsaw to cut out these sections there and there, so it fits around the structure of the van. Now it ain't gonna fit straight away as soon as I do the jigsaw cutting, because like I said, it needs the wood to be beveled then, or chamfered, whatever you want to call it. So I'll do the jigsaw cutting first, and then I'll probably do that chamfered edge just with my belt sander, because I haven't got a router or anything. If there was one that I was going to get wrong, it was going to be this one, wasn't it? Well, yeah, you guessed it. I cut it wrong. How? I do not know, because I made the template. So the template must have been wrong. I don't know. Or I cocked it up with the jigsaw cutting. I've made a second template now. So, I mean, it's nearly there, but it ain't as perfect as I want it to be. So I've marked it out with tape again now to cut another one. This has taken ages. I've lost count how many times I've been in and out of this van. Now that I am proud of. Check this out for my carpentry skills. Nice and tight, like a tiger.
Perfection.
Now I've just flipped it upside down just to show you what I've had to do to get it to fit. So it's all shaved at an angle, mostly on these edges here, but slightly along there as well, and then like that. And that is so that it fits snugly. So to get the top edge of it sitting snugly up against that, you have to shave the bottom away. So yeah, that was an absolute mission. I got it as close as I could with the second template that I made, because obviously I cocked up the first one. But then even with getting it close to the template, it still needed loads of work. It was just a case of trying it, seeing what was hitting, marking it with a bit of pencil, taking it out of the van, shaving it down, trying it again, and then yeah, times that by about 30, and this is where we're at then. It's not quite smack on the front edge. The depth of it is a bit wider at one end for some reason, so I'm just going to leave that like it is, and then when it's all fixed in place, then I can draw a straight line down it, and I know exactly what I've got to cut off that. I fixed this board. It's only about 4 centimeters wide, and it was just to keep this from bending. Whether I keep it there or not, I don't really know. I'm probably gonna get my mate, who's a carpenter, to just look over everything I've done now and guide me through what the next steps are. As I said, the main ones is to then figure out the depth of this bench seat, which will then let me determine where my doors are on this unit then. So I think that's about it for this video. There isn't a lot more that I can do without having the drawer slides with me. So thank you very much for watching. I hope any carpenters that are watching that my woodworking skills weren't too cringe-worthy. I don't think I did a bad job there, to be honest, you know, considering I haven't got a clue what I'm doing with woodworking. As always, if you're interested in the side pods or the inner trims, all the details for them are in the description. If you like what you're watching, or I've helped you out in some way, or you've got some ideas from me, consider paying it back with buying me a coffee. Link for that is in the description as well. As you see in the video, I've been using my new Evolution track saw. If you fancy one of them, link for that is in the description as well. So it's an affiliate link, so if you click on it and buy one, then I get a couple of pence or something. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. So click on the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.